All right, Mueller here, back with our daily, not necessarily daily, but back with one of our severe weather analysis. Today's March 23rd, 2025, and we have a pretty expansive slight risk that's been in the picture here for over a week, pretty much. Earlier, few days back, it looked like this might be a bigger event than what it was. Had a 15% across the south here, but that's not really coming to fruition here. We do still have a slight risk, though, and we do have a 5% tornado parameter, mainly centered around southern West Tennessee, most of North Mississippi, and a little bit of Arkansas and Louisiana. And we have a big 2% around that. Personally, I would say the 2% might be expanded down here into Texas just for that chance for just, a very brief semi-tornado-ish setup going on down there. But it's probably more of our hail risk, I think, will be down here. And we have a large 50% wind. It extends up into Kentucky, West Tennessee, southern Arkansas, Mississippi, a little bit Alabama, a little northern Louisiana, some of eastern Texas. Hail risk pretty much the same, but it does expand a little farther into Texas, which is probably what Texas will be dealing with most. Let's see. If we look at the NAM model here, the NAM 3 kilometer. Let's see. So what's our latest? Yeah, this is the latest run. This is the 12Z run. We can see our precipitation here. It's a little off because the stuff it's showing right here is actually, we had some precipitation move through here. So I don't know if Western Kentucky will get in on these light rain showers, but if this happens, I got a feeling the risk will be lower. So let's pray for rain up there, but I don't really know. These aren't the worst storms, but there could be some tornadoes today. It's not really doing a good job showing this convection here. I really don't think it's doing a good job with the early Texas convection. These supercells up here really aren't that impressive on this run, but I'm pretty sure we'll have some supercells in West Tennessee. But it does show the supercells in northern Mississippi here, and if I just go ahead and go to the actual NAM model, we can see that we do have, let's see if we get a sounding, pull up let's see if I find our highest sensibility area. So we do have about 1,000 values, joules per kilogram, reaching up into West Tennessee here. We have a lot higher instability down here, but our better wind shear profile is up in this center area, kind of northern Mississippi, western Arkansas. But if I pull up, we'll go ahead and pull up a sounding, actually. Let's go ahead and get a sounding for this. It's northern Mississippi here. On the edge of that 5%, but it probably will be in the 5% here soon. So what we do have a decent low-level curvature. We have some backing in the atmosphere, but it should be fine, I believe. We have decent curvature. Low-level winds could be a little bit better, but they're not bad. But we do have that backing up near the 500 millibar level. But otherwise, we have decent speed shear and some curvature. Let's see. We have a very moist low level here. Have 60s dew points, 65 degree dew points, 70s temperatures. I think it's underdoing the temperatures. NAM usually does underdo temperatures. We probably have more likely the temperature will be low 70s for most of Mississippi, at least according to the Memphis National Weather Service. At least 70 degrees here, pretty much where we are, 71, 72. And this sounding's right about here. This is where I'm thinking the greatest threat today is this corridor, northern Mississippi. I'm not going to say strong tornadoes, but I'm definitely going to say a tornado or two. Here's our sounding again. We have a surface-based cape, about 2,000 joules per kilogram. Mixed layer cape, definitely 2,000. Cape is very, very, very long. It's very elongated throughout the atmosphere, but it is thick enough, though, for some robust updrafts. I'm definitely saying a few supercells. Large hail, definitely a thing today. We have modestly steep lapse rates, especially for the south. This is decent enough. This will get our storms going. Lots of low-level cape, 136 joules per kilogram of low-level capes. That's pretty darn good. So we need at least 100 usually, give or take 80 to 100 for tornadoes. But yeah, looking pretty good here. Only thing wrong with that, I'd say that might back this up is the backing here. So we might get some weird storm motion today. And storms might have a hard time completely organizing. We might have a lot of splitting going on, just a lot of weird wonky paths due to this backing. But I still think we have enough shear overall to kind of counter that. Let's see, what's our surface to 3 kilometer SRH? Yeah, it's decent. You want values around 200, I say, for this, but we have a lot of good low level SRH, plenty for tornadoes. But the surface to 3 kilometer, it's could be better. And this is a sounding in West Tennessee. A lot of weird stuff going on up here. We have a loop, which is not a good sign for supercells. These storms probably will start off supercellular and then more likely be clusters due to this wonkiness up here. But there's a lot of elongated low-level speed shear here. So I'm thinking West Tennessee might be more of like a multi-cell with supercell features. So that's what's keeping that area from being a risk. But otherwise, very, very moist low-level. Probably we have some convective... have some convection interfering with that, but so far, I really think the NAM here and its other models are overdoing that low-level rainfall going across northern Mississippi, western Tennessee, because there has been some rainfall up here, and it's pretty much left in what I would call an outflow boundary across most of this area, but there's no rain showers, to say the least. It's definitely cloudy out there today, but there's, despite that, there should still be plenty of instability out there. Plenty of instability available for thunderstorms. Here's our curvature in the low atmosphere. We have curvature. We still have a lot of backing here. That's what's concerning today is the backing. Our wind shear profiles are really wonky, but they are elongated. We have decent bulk shear. We have some low level shear. The only thing keeping this risk state from honestly being higher, in my opinion, is the little bit of low level cloud cover and the backing looping in our wind profiles today. But we do have a modest CAPE up here, surface-based CAPE around 1,000 joules per kilogram. We have decent mixed layered CAPE around 1,000 joules per kilogram, plenty enough for organized convective. Now, organized severe weather, sorry. Our CAPE is very skinny, though, the farther north we go. So these storms, this is kind of like a hit or miss. We don't miss Tennessee. That's why they didn't really extend the 5% in this area. They did a little bit the farther southern area, but it's still kind of unsure. So this is our surface analysis. I think this was like an hour ago. If I zoom in here, we have 60-degree dew points kind of hovering around this area in Arkansas and making their way mostly upper 50-degree dew points out here. But this is like 11 o'clock and it's 12:30 now. So I'm betting by storms later this afternoon, 60-degree dew points might make it up to northern West Tennessee up through here because they've already made it to almost the boot hill up here. But what might be causing some of this to be pushed back is because of this convection that we had a few hours ago. It wasn't really anything much, but some modest rain showers made their way up here. So there's definitely an outflow boundary. So I'm betting somewhere right in here is where our best supercell potential will be of the day. Our best tornado chances will be right in here. Don't really know about West Tennessee up here. It might happen. Arkansas looking pretty promising, but it just might not be the right timing. The front might be too strong here. Arkansas is a hit or miss if we could see a supercell. We might see a supercell around here, though. Maybe a tornado or two. We never know. Mostly today is going to be a wind risk, in my opinion. But I can't really identify a front of the surface dew point and temperature, but it's definitely a drop in dew point here. I don't know. This isn't really much of a dry line, but it's kind of a dry line cold front setup here. 5 to 10 degree dew point difference, and temperatures are a little bit different. It's just like 66, 68. So the temperatures, it's more of a semi-mix. Some places a bit of a cold front, some places a dry line. It's kind of hard to point that out, but we know our low is somewhere up in here. If I can zoom out now. Don't worry, I'll get to Texas and Louisiana here in a second. So we just go ahead and pull up the upper air 500 millibar analysis. Our main low is definitely centered up here. We have kind of but we have our upper air 500 millibar pointed pretty much this way. And I'm thinking we have a secondary low that might form around here sometime here in the near future. If I go down under to our low level jet. It's definitely strong out of the south. Wind direction definitely out of the south. So we have lots of shear. It's just some of that backing is making its way near the 500 millibar, and that's the only concerning thing, in my opinion. I mean, I'm pretty sure our atmosphere will clear out and get sunnier today, so we can get some surface heating across this area. But here's our little low that I'm talking about. We can see the wind shift and slightly lower pressure here. I'm assuming that's probably going to deepen by a few more millibars before it gets into near the Missouri Boot Hill. Sorry. We have our main low up here. Not very strong. This isn't really a really large system like we've been seeing across this area of our tornado outbreak that happened over here, as well as our deep south tornado outbreak about a week ago. And when this first showed up, this might, we kind of saw this as maybe a big squall line day. It's what I kind of saw it as back when this risk was outlined, like almost a week ago now. But it's kind of turned out to be more of a mixed mode, messy setup. But we could still get some decent storms out of this today. Pull up the bulk shear. Hello? Are you going to pull up? There we go. We have widespread 40 to 50 knots of wind shear out here today. Definitely plenty for supercells. And let's go ahead 6 hours out. Yeah, it's definitely going to move out across the area. Maybe 50 to 60 knots in some places. If I pull up go ahead and pull up the visible satellite. Nope, visible satellite, please. Thank you. We have a lot of cloud cover across this area today. A little bit less here in northern Mississippi, where I'm thinking the storms will be. Pretty clear out here. We'll talk about these guys in a second. But still a lot of cloud cover making their way in here. If we get some clearing out here, definitely increase our cape. But I have decent hopes that we might get some clearing. If we get some decent clearing like we have popping over here, they'll definitely increase our cape values by quite a lot. I think we might get in 2,000 to 3,000 like those models are showing. Let's see. Let's see. What else do I want to pull up? My phone keeps buzzing. All right. We'll go ahead and take another sounding from the NAM. Probably our better area right here. NAM's definitely underdoing temperature, so cape is being underdone by it. But I wonder if it's going to show that backing. I'll go ahead and pull up the HRR analysis here a second. But this is what it's showing. It's still showing backing, but not as bad as some of the models have shown. We don't see that weird loopy thing in the photograph today. With the NAM, what's that, 12Z NAM? Yeah, 12Z NAM. NAM 3 kilometer, we're showing some more wonkiness, but this will still kind of interfere with our storm motion here. We might have some weird splitting and messy features going on, but we can still get a tornado with that low level shear like that. Still plenty of curvature, definitely some speed shear, just some weird backing in the mid-level there. Doing a little bit better than it usually is with temperature. 70/64 is pretty good for the NAM, actually, showing that. That's pretty realistic. Plenty of cape in the atmosphere. Yeah, I think we're doing good here. The sounding looks promising for supercells and tornadoes. I'm going to pull up the HRR, and we'll go ahead and... this is the 12Z HER model, which I think is, so far today, done the best. It might be overdoing those Tennessee storms a little bit, but I definitely could be a supercell in that. But it's showing that Arkansas supercell area. There's definitely going to be a supercell or two in this area. But northern Mississippi looks like it's doing the best. And then we get a bit of a squall line emerging. I don't know if it's going to be as severe as this shows it. If it does get as severe as this shows it, they might induce an enhanced risk for wind down here. But I don't know if the recent model is showing that. To some extent, it's showing that. It's doing better with those Tennessee storms being kind of weak, but it still shows those supercells making their way into northern Mississippi. And we still have our supercells down south here across Texas and Louisiana. This might do pretty good down here. This is just a big hail setup down here. I don't see much going on, but we'll go ahead and take a sounding. I think our best supercell potential is up there. We'll go ahead and pull up mixed layer cape for this area. I'm going to find the best, most unstable area in Texas, which is pretty much all of this part of Texas. Take a quick sounding here before I end the video. Still tornado potential, I think, the 2% should be expanded into that part of Texas. Because still some backing, not as impressive of a shear profile, actually worse down here. Still some curvature, very weak flow though. Thicker cape, better temperatures, better dew points, more cape. So a higher cape kind of hail setup, big robust storms in Texas and Louisiana, probably hail and damaging wind. Smaller but more tornadic supercells in this area. And Tennessee, hit or miss, probably wind risk through these areas in like middle Mississippi. But I think our best tornado potential today is in this little corridor of Arkansas and Mississippi. Best hail potential down here. So that's it for the day, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay safe out there.